Have you ever wondered what it takes to divide a nation of millions? What happens when borders are drawn, not on maps, but through the hearts of people? The Partition of India in 1947 wasn't just a political decision, it was a cataclysmic event that sparked the largest migration in human history. This is a story of promises, betrayal, and unimaginable human suffering. Let's take a journey back to the summer of 1947. After nearly 2 centuries under British colonial rule, India was finally on the cusp of independence. But freedom came with a catch. The British decision to leave India also meant dividing it into 2 separate nations, India and Pakistan. Pakistan was intended to be a homeland for Muslims, while India would remain a predominantly Hindu-majority country. Sounds straightforward, doesn't it? But the reality was anything but. As the decision was announced, chaos erupted. Imagine a country of over 400 million people, with communities of Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs living side by side for generations, suddenly forced to choose sides. Entire families were uprooted overnight, leaving their homes, possessions, and ancestral lands behind. In the months following the partition, over 15 million people were displaced, making it the largest mass migration in recorded history. Trains packed with refugees left cities like Lahore, Delhi, and Amritsar, each one carrying hope, fear, and desperation. But these trains weren't just a means of transport. Many became rolling tombs, as communal violence erupted on an unprecedented scale. This was a time when humanity seemed to vanish. Neighbor turned against neighbor. Villages were burned to the ground. Thousands of women were abducted and families were torn apart forever. The rivers of Punjab, once a lifeline for millions, flowed red with blood. And amidst this unimaginable horror, there were stories of extraordinary courage. Strangers risking their lives to save those of a different faith. Before we continue, if you're finding this story as gripping as we are, take a moment to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating insights into history. So why did this tragedy unfold? Historians point to several reasons. The British Empire's hasty withdrawal, coupled with the lack of clear planning, left communities vulnerable. The Radcliffe Line, the boundary hastily drawn by a British lawyer with no understanding of India's complex demographics, cut through provinces, splitting villages, rivers, and even homes. The result? A map that sowed seeds of division and violence that are still felt today. But the story of partition is more than a tale of division. It's a lesson about the fragility of peace and the cost of ignoring the voices of ordinary people. For those who lived through it, partition wasn't just a historical event. It was a wound that never truly healed. By 1948, cities like Delhi and Karachi were completely transformed. Refugees settled wherever they could, building new lives from the ashes of their past. Despite the trauma, these displaced communities showed remarkable resilience. They rebuilt homes, started businesses, and laid the foundations for modern India and Pakistan. Today, the partition remains a deeply sensitive and polarizing chapter in South Asia's history. It reminds us of the devastating consequences of religious and political divides. But it also reminds us of the human spirit's capacity to endure and rebuild, even in the face of unimaginable loss. As we wrap up, here's something to think about. Could events like partition happen again in today's world? Are we learning from history, or are we doomed to repeat it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories that bring history to life. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and remember, the past shapes our present more than we often realize.